Welcome to the community of people seeking for true knowledge and wisdom. Welcome to Professor App. During the last lesson, we discussed about the fact that people are different and still they are the same. So they are different from one another, but they belong to some groups of people that the alchemists and the old wise men of the old palaces and cities in antiquity and during the Middle Ages have been known to associate them with the four elements: earth, water, air, and fire. Today, during this lesson, we will try to understand the fire element, the so-called autumn element of the four temperaments. Each person, each of your friends, each of your parents, and of the teachers and people you meet on the street, even strangers, belong to one type of these elements. And these four elements are usually combined. So most people have a dominant or a principal element and a secondary or not so dominant temperament. The first temperament will always show up when we are into new situations where people don't know us very well, and when we are with our parents, when we are with our partners, when we are with our very close friends. The second temperament, the second element, will be shown. This is why going through the four elements, we will try to understand each of them very well so that you can choose by yourself which one suits you better. And if you are right, most probably you will know exactly what I mean, because knowing what element belongs to you, you will know how to read people's minds. And many times by doing so, you will appear to know what they are thinking about, what their next reactions will be, and so on. The fire personality, the fire temperament, is always a person that is feared of. So if you are in a group, you will always feel that somebody is the king, that somebody dominates the discussions, and that most people fear of. Because yes, those fire element people that we call today cholerics are usually shouting. They are sometimes very cruel and critical, and many times you don't want to fight with them because they really know how to fight. And when they fight, they tend to scare people because they become very aggressive. And if you feel this anger, this anxiety, this fury that the cholerics have, you will always have the impression that they are just like dragons in fairy tales and movies, because out of their mouth, out of their ears, out of their eyes, sometimes you might really have the impression that they are blowing fire, trying to put everybody on fire in those choleric episodes when they inflate, when they burst into fire everything that surrounds them. And many times they appear cruel to people they love, saying things that are really not nice. And because they are the fire element and they tend to consider themselves kings, they don't really know how to say sorry after they just messed you up or after they just managed to destroy your day. Cholerics, and if you are a choleric you will know that, are sorry after they just burn everything down. But because their fury is hard to control, many times this fire element is over your head. And if you're not evolved enough, if your self-development hasn't helped you have the tools, the proper tools to control this anger, you might end up burning the hearts and the hopes of those people that are very important to you. And when you're a kid, if you're a choleric, many times you might have the impression that you cannot hold your fists, and you might want to grab people and give them some punches just because they don't listen to what you want to say. So, cholerics, and it's important to have this impression properly fixed in your brain, are always the fire element that, like a thunder, likes to tell people what is right, likes to be always right, and most important, cholerics are always trying to have the last word. And when they speak, they usually speak very loud, and they always tell you, I told you so. And if you're not sure how to recognize them, just watch after this eyebrow. There's one eyebrow lifted, looking always critical and a bit upset. And when they walk on the streets, you can always see them because they walk very fast and very aggressive. And many times people just have to jump out of their way, otherwise they have the impression they get hit by these cholerics. Because the fire element is always efficient, strong, aggressive, speaks loud, is always reliable, but many times hard to deal with because of his ego. He has the impression that he belongs to the king reign. So he's a sort of emperor, and everybody has to be his subject. And if you don't agree to becoming his subject, you might have to fight your power in. You might have to strive, you might have to confront him in order to win your place around this self-imposed king. Cholerics, on the other hand, are very nice people. They always protect their friends, and they are there when you need them. But you only have to know not to look into their mouth when they speak out loud or when they shout something that they don't even believe in, but they're just upset or angry. So, if one of your parents is choleric, if one of your friends is a choleric, if you are a choleric yourself, you know that you can easily get angry. Never forget, cholerics are great friends. You can always count on them. They will always fight for those people they love. But if they don't learn a proper self-control, they might end up destroying friendships, relationships, and many times they end up hurting those people they love most. Cholerics belong to the fire element, and in the old alchemy, it was thought that they need water to calm down, because very easily they can start burning and heating up, and they need to breathe in, to let go, and to be more peaceful. Otherwise, people might mistake them with warriors that don't really know how to appreciate people, don't really know how to express love, and very important, don't really know how to say sorry.